Hi, this is John from RevSoft, and this presentation is an overview how REV Scheduler works with JDE Enterprise 1, and what we're going to be doing is submitting the R0006 Business Unit Report. We're going to be using JDE Enterprise 1 on the ERP1 Lab server, so if you're wondering what it looks like in a cloud environment, guess what? You're going to see it. Okay, so let's get into REV Scheduler working with Enterprise 1. Let's just do a basic 101 on run UBEXML. You have to call it 3 times for it to actually run. A G, an S, and submit it. So what we've done is we've automated all that into one command, the REV VUBEXML. It calls it 3 times for you. Now, by having the UBEXML running as a script, what it does allow for dependencies before the job that's going to submit the UBE and jobs that can execute after the UBE is submitted correctly on any other servers or platforms. And also the REV VUBEXML can be in a script that is part of a group structure that can be on local or network servers. Now, all RevSoft modules have the hash variables. Anyone not using RevSoft before, anything that starts with a hash is a variable. Now there's 2 types. The user variables, which we're showing in blue in this example, they're always visible. The green or the encrypted variables are never displayed anywhere, and it's always displayed as less than, encrypted, greater than. So you can always identify when you've used it. So if we define a REV VUBEXML to run as user equals a user variable and password equals an encrypted variable, when it actually ran, you would see user equals RevSoft password equals encrypted. The REV VUBEXML also has a delete argument at the end because we like to delete the XML files because, unfortunately, the passwords are visible in some of those files. Now, to test the run UBEXML works correctly, what we do is we run a REV VUBEXML with the R0006 Business Unit Report. That way it proves it works from end to end. So what we're going to do in this example is we're going to run the R0006 Business Unit Report, update the REV View Health Center with the execution date and time, as well as a hyperlink to the PDF that's created during the execution of that UBE, send out an email with the R0006P generated PDF as an attachment. So before we go to the ERP1 Lab server, let's just check out the REV VUBEXML command in its raw form. This is what it will look like. The blue ones are user variables. Green variables are encrypted variables. Again, these are exposed, these are not. So in its raw form, it would look like this. In its executed form, it would look like this. Okay, let's go to the server. Rightio, we're on the server. Hopefully no one got jet lag because we just went from Australia to North America very quickly. But in the scheduler definitions, let's have a look at the job that's going to run the R0006P. Here are the scripts it's going to run. Now, what you'll see, first of all, with the scripts is anywhere it's got /* to // that means it's a comment. So we can document in our scripts, as well as job documentation that we have as well, we can document what we're showing here. First thing we're doing is we're running the REV VUBEXML. We're going to run a RV set state command, which is going to update the health center. Then we're going to run an email. You'll see there are variables in here, and you'll see them as they execute. Okay, that's a definition. Off to the execution. Here we are in the host operations. As you can see in the operations, all executions are displayed in color. If there's one world data, what we tend to do is show it with this logo, which is a simple map of the globe with a 1 on it. Now, the business unit report actually ran. If I double click on the scripts here, what I can see is I can see all the scripts it executed, the REV VUBEXML, the set state, and the send email. What I can also see in there are the JDE Enterprise 1 details as well. So we've got things in there like the job number 28838 17304. You'll see we even go down to the level of the submitted process ID and the processing process ID. So we even track things down to that level. Let's actually take a look in JDE and see what that looks like. Okay, so in JDE, if if we're going to have a look in there, what we'll see here is a work with submitted jobs. Here's a business unit report here, 28,838. Man, that looks pretty close to our details we've got there. Let's just move it over, 28,838. Job 17,304. Let's just have a look at that quite quickly. Let's have a look at the rows and the execution details. And there we are, 28,838, 17,304. You can actually see what we've done is the details on the left here are in REV Scheduler. So a lot of the basic details you can find are in REV Scheduler. You don't have to go into JDE to find them. And we've actually captured in a similar format the data selection, sequencing, reporting connect, SQL statement, processing options. We've captured them all and we've displayed them in a similar format to the way you'll see them within JDE. Okay, so that's the JDE details there. Now let's go to what actually happened. We actually went to the health center, which is here, and the business unit report. It ran, it's got the job ID 28,838 and the process ID 17,304, and we've got a hyperlink here to the actual PDF that was created. Now I will explain in a couple of seconds about how we get to that. First of all, let's keep going through and see what the last execution was, which I believe was to send out the email. Right here, RM send email. Okay, let's get that email. Here it is from this morning, sent to me, copied away, and it's got the actual business unit report as an attachment. So we've done all those things quite simply. So, okay, how do we get to the PDF? So what you'll see is when we actually ran the command in definition, what we have here for the set state and the others is we've got other variables called OW. OW stands for one world. So all the JDE Enterprise One variables start with OW. Now, as one of our training tools inside the operations, what we do is we allow you to see the variables of a job that executed with the variable name and the actual values. So we can see anything that starts with EVT is a job event. Anything that starts with sys is a system, date, time, day of the month, etc. Anything that starts with OW are the one world variables. Here we have them. Last date and time, job number, process ID. So we've got all these details here. So if we soft code that, asking to see the PDF, we can actually get it for every job by soft coding it in there. They're the one world variables. We can go through them in more detail if anyone wants to see those things. Okay, so that should just about do it. Just mentioning quickly, we're running on ERP1 Cloud here on a Windows server and using a remote MySQL database on another Windows server. Okay, back to where we were before. We've looked at that. So what have we actually done? We've automated the Run UBE using the REVUBEXML. We don't have any security issues as we can use encrypted variables to not expose passwords anywhere in the scheduler. We can also delete the XML files as passwords are exposed in those. So as part of the REVUBEXML process, we can delete them. We can reference the UBE created PDF using the OW variables as we saw in the email and as an attachment to the health center. And we can send out an email using those as well. So that's a basic introduction on how REVUBEXML and REV Scheduler works with JDE Enterprise One. If you'd like any more details, please email it through at product_info@revsoft.com. And as usual, this runs on everything from a laptop through to a mainframe. Thank you very much for your time and have a good day.